warning my neighbors. I can't sleep. The chickens are up early and I got to eat. I stay woke. I stay woke. I stay woke. I stay woke. I am up. I stay woke. I don't sleep. I stay woke. I stay woke. I stay woke. For the culture, mother.
What's up, kids and kitties, ladies and gentlemen, people of all different ethnicities? This is another amazing episode of Stay Woke with your friendly neighborhood Christians, Jews, Muslims, and all those things combined, spending the moment, giving love, receiving love, and giving it back to y'all. I'm JB.
I'm Julie.
Jason.
And we have a special guest of honor today.
This is Hookman.
Hookman.
Hook.
Hook is he's sort of a low-key industry fucking legend. He's done some of your favorite records. He's a fucking beast. He's a musician first. He's an all-around fucking awesome guy. We do a lot of work together, and it's our privilege to have him. Julie, what's up, girl? How's it in white people world?
You know, pretty good. Things are going pretty well for us as a group.
How's your overall, how are your investments in stocks and things of that nature? Are they,
You know, I learned an important lesson from your financial advisor, actually.
What did you learn?
Which was, once you put money in stocks, you should just not touch it and never look at it.
That's true.
Because otherwise you're going to fuck with it. So I don't know how they're doing, but I'm assuming well because,
So
Jewish,
you got one positive thing from me. You used my accountant's business advice. Very Jewish.
As much as with all of history, I have taken the best of you and used it for my benefit.
Jews. See, I got to talk to you,
You know what's crazy,
Jeff.
though? I was actually I just learned yesterday about Robert Durst. Do you guys know about this guy?
Is it Robert Durst from the special that was on
Jinx.
Of course.
I'd
Girl,
never
you were
heard of him before.
late.
I know, I'm like 2 years late.
Have you seen it, Hookman?
No.
Okay,
It's
please
crazy.
elaborate and then I'll chime in.
So it's this guy who's like a
Sorry,
millionaire
listeners.
New York real estate tycoon. He comes from that kind of family. This old guy. He basically murdered 3 people.
Allegedly.
Not even allegedly.
Yeah, I mean,
so he murdered 3 people. He got off. He got off on all 3. The first 2, there wasn't enough evidence, and the third, his lawyers got him off on self-defense, even though he straight up cut up the guy's body and hid it. And his lawyers still got him off on self-defense.
Oh, wow.
So, anyways, a movie was made about him with Ryan Gosling starring, and this guy, Robert Durst, liked it so much that he hit up the director and was like, "You get me. I want you to do like a docu-series on me for HBO." So he does this docu-series, and in the last episode, the producer shows him this very questionable evidence that's like, "Hey, the anonymous letter that was written to the cops is your handwriting." And so this is actually really amazing. So this guy's 70 years old by this point. He starts burping uncontrollably and getting really weird. He leaves to go to the bathroom. His mic is still hot. And in the bathroom, he's talking to himself and he's like, "Well, that's it. They caught you.
On camera.
You did it." His mic is still on. It's a wireless mic. He goes to the bathroom.
Wow.
He's talking to himself and he confesses to murdering these people to himself in the bathroom.
Is he locked up?
No, he's free.
No, he's not free. I think he was
free.
arrested. Is he free still?
He's free, yeah.
He was arrested.
Yeah, and he's not been incarcerated. Someone please get Christopher Lloyd in the phone. Hi, Christopher, this is me. No, it's not Michael J. Fox. It's Jean-Baptiste. Can you put us in the time machine so we can get back to 2017? Thank you.
It's a good story. It was a good story. I'm not going to apologize.
Wait, so that wasn't a recent event?
No,
It's in 2015. It wasn't crazy.
It was
crazy
all
long
the. Remember,
ago.
James was all the rage in 2015. And we all watched it and participated, and everything she said is dead on. He does slip up. He's old as fuck now, and it just shows you. It shows you the power of the 1%. It shows you white privilege.
But it's crazy to me that you can be that I don't know. I think that's the great thing about getting old and dying is even the worst people. Even straight insane murderers eventually become old men, and you're just like, "Oh, honey, your bones are brittle."
You're too old to pay the consequences for those.
No, it's not even that.
murders
It's
you
not
committed
even
and
that.
those
But it's
babies you ate.
I don't know. For me, it was very positive because I feel like age and being old and weak and feeble is really scary. Except even serial killers get old and weak and feeble, and that to me is empowering. You know
You know where you're gonna end up. You're gonna just end up as dirt on the ground. even your bones. Let's. I want to talk about our country right now. We just had a really interesting situation with Kathy Griffin. Is everyone privy to the photo of the severed dummy's head that represented, I guess, a terrible image of our president?
Wait, no, what? I'm not privy to this. I'm clearly stuck in 2015.
Okay, so I thought you were in the car with us. You're still back there. We'll send Christopher Lloyd back for you. Well, she did a photo. I don't know what
of like a severed head that looks like Donald Trump.
It was a severed head in the image of our president,
Like holding it
bloody
up.
on some
bloody
like, on some like
head.
yeah, ISIS. Crazy.
She getting arrested?
No, I mean I don't even know, but I know she
got
lost
fired
her
from
job.
CNN.
She lost her job.
No shit.
Yeah. Let's say something because I'm a fan of Kathy Griffin. I'm a fan of the beauty of the freedoms and liberties that we have in this country. I think Danny's outside. The freedoms and liberties that we have in this country and our rights to the freedom of speech and things that we have. But portraying a decapitated head of our president is just a no-no. Kathy, that was a
you
major...
can't. What is that? You can't
It's like a
threaten the
death
life.
threat.
Yeah.
Even I don't care what comedy doesn't get you a right to escape that. That is really, really wrong.
Do you know what? She took her shot. Meaning she thought maybe this would propel her. I'm sure she did not do that for no reason. She wanted to express herself, and right now it's hurting her.
Yeah, but we're not. But let's talk about how far we can go in a free world. Like, granted, our former president, our beloved former president Barack Obama, so many different instances of this with people with like mannequins and things and doing crazy, lynchings of his image. But I mean, like, it's wrong then, it's wrong now, and it's just that's not some shit you do in a free world. I'm sorry, I know it seems ironic that I'm saying the free world, and you just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what your political views are, no matter whether you're pro or not for his views or his thinking, it's still our president. It's still crazy.
The can't word is the one that's bothering me because you can, if it had worked, she would be a genius. He didn't go after Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Well, because Saturday Night Live, I mean,
it was just comedy, but
well,
he still could have gone after them in terms of.
They've also
like,
never portrayed anything in like a violent way.
That's true.
Anytime you're doing something where you're promoting violence, where that can be like, inciting murder.
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
getting into a really like sticky. I just honestly, I don't know why you would do that. Like for the president, like, especially if you have a following and you're well known and you're someone like Kathy Griffin who's on. I didn't know she was on CNN, but is on CNN.
A show that was, I guess it's The View.
No. I looked it up. The show that she actually got fired from isn't like her day job. It's she's like a host for their New Year's live show.
It's a big
that
gig.
she's been doing for
oh shit
years now.
Hit in the
And
pocket.
so that's the one that that's the
well,
one
but
that
that's the thing is like if you know you're on a very mainstream media, like to say some crazy shit about the president.
Well, that's
why?
the thing.
Like
It wouldn't
who
surprise
wrote
me.
that? Like which writer was like, wait, this is gonna be really funny?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me either if she genuinely thought that CNN would have her back because of the way that Trump goes at CNN, calling them fake news, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. Won't talk to their critics and all that stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if she kind of had that kind of idea where
no one is going to stand. No one is going to stand. Realistically, let's be pragmatic. No one is actually going to stand against the government. No one is going to. When you start getting into federal offenses, when you start getting into murky water of like pissing off someone who has so much power that they will throw the book at you, no one is going to stand with you. That's crazy. That's. I don't know. Like I genuinely don't understand how you can. She's been in the business for 30 years. She's been working on TV for like 30 years. I don't understand how she's seen so many people fuck up and is now one of them. I mean, remember Gilbert Gottfried got fired from Aflac from that great gig for like dumb fucking tsunami tweets. Like it does not take a lot to get fired from a huge company. Like don't do some dumb shit. What's wrong with you? Unless you want to get fired.
Let's keep our political conversations in our workplaces, in our homes, yada yada. Let's not make threats against our president or the president of the free world. Okay, let's learn from her mistake, because I tell you that the repercussions for that will be long coming.
Yep.
Groupthink is a motherfucker, though.
It really is.
You know what I mean? That's an important lesson to learn, because someone had to take that picture. People had to be around her. A bunch of people had to be like, "This is okay." Or like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I'm assuming like everybody in the room were like, "You get him," you know what I mean?
Or just no
Like,
one wanted to say no, you know what I mean? Or like that, and that's, I mean, but that says a lot about when one person's voice is too loud in a room, you know, because everybody else is too scared to dissent, and then shit like this happens.
Speaking of our president, our beloved president, we want to talk about a little bit. So I guess we're pulling out of the universal Paris climate deal. I'm not.
What does that mean?
I really am
Do
not
any
that
of us know what that
educated
means?
on it, but I know the rest of the world is on it. And I think whatever the rest of the world does, we probably should be doing. But you know, I'm not that versed on it. I guess in a sense, moving towards a one world, which I'm 100% pro of, a world without borders. This is a step backwards. I don't know what's going on. I
thought this was more about like accepting climate change.
Yeah, but
No, I think it has a lot to do with like more like renewable energy and like, you know what I mean,
Changing
changing our grid of like power.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean, fossil fuels and that kind of thing.
Well, I mean,
Like by 2025, you're supposed to have this much percentage of your energy be renewable. Or, you know, that kind of thing.
so what I don't understand is, isn't that frankly somewhat symbolic? Like, what does this agreement? I don't really know that much about it. Does this agreement say if you don't by 2025 have this will happen? Like if you don't have
pretty much
X by 2025,
sanctions and fines.
Yeah.
Which how can you fine a country who's already in debt as much as ours?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like it seems like that's like again
and
symbolic.
and actually the most powerful country in the nation. So good luck.
well, for the time being,
It's like the bully taking your lunch money since you were like in elementary school, and then it's time to go to college, and you're like, yo, bro, let me get your money, but you're still the same size.
But what I will say though is like this country, like we're just not, because like in Berlin, if you throw away your trash wrong and they
really
find
are
out,
pro Berlin, but go ahead.
but it's just like they will ticket you personally. Like they will, like if you throw away paper, because this happened to a friend of mine, she threw away a bill that had her name on it, not in the paper like compartment, in the like regular trash compartment.
Got him.
They found her name on it, and sent her a 50 € ticket.
So
like-
here's how do we police that in areas that are impoverished?
It's not even policing. It's just more incentive. Again, like
Yeah, how do we instill that in impoverished areas, in urban areas with no money? Like there's no recycling in the hood.
but that's the thing. Is like that's what we need. Again, like in every grocery store in Germany, there's a machine that you can put your fucking cans and put cans and bottles into, and you get like a money back receipt that you can use to buy the groceries there.
You hear
like,
this, listeners?
Why don't we have that?
We have a Jewish homegirl telling us all the reasons why we should be more like Germany.
Wow.
I want to talk about the NBA, the NBA schminos that we're in right now. The Cavs laws, bullshit. We know LeBron's the most superior player in the league with the most superior team. Y'all can keep playing this shit so y'all friends can win money on the gambling debts and shit. And if you guys fucking let the fucking Warriors win, this shit's rigged. That's not from me. That's from what I found on the internet from conspiracy theories. They think this shit's rigged. We're gonna go into a jam from Sauce Walker from Texas, and then we're gonna go into our guests and your story history in the music business. You had a really phenomenal meeting I want to talk about yesterday from what we can't talk about without saying names.
Sure.
You were in a big building.
Yes. Thank you.
Big building.
Big buildings.
Okay.
We're back on motherfucking air. We had a little glitch in the iPod. I'm sorry. I'm a dinosaur in my ways. So we've got a really amazing guest. Hookman. What's up, bruv?
You know, focused,
I see.
laser focused.
I see you. Got your Kobe focus on. Let's talk about your history. Let's talk about like how you got into music.
Who are you?
Who are
am
you?
I?
What encompasses you? Where you're from? Blah blah blah.
Wow. I grew up in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, playing trumpet. You know, the jazz heads liked me, so they let me in the clubs, they let me in the bars to sit in with the guys. And one thing led to another, man. I got better and better hanging with them, ended up getting a scholarship, studied classical at UMKC. Fast forward, I ended up moving to Jersey. And that's kind of dirty Jersey to go to William Patterson. I ended up graduating from there with a bachelor's in music with emphasis on jazz performance. So that's kind of the
smart
boring
black
part.
man. Ladies, this is a smart black man. He's got good skin too, and he's got hair. Just saying. This brother has a degree. Keep going, sir.
Thank you for saying that and putting some emphasis on that.
Put some respect on your goddamn degree.
You feel me? No, I think it helps, but that's kind of the boring part, the school part. Then I just kind of realized I didn't really want to tour as much as my best friends, who still are some of the leading musicians. Yeah, they're touring musicians, but so I started doing beats, man. I started doing beats and started hanging out in front of studios and hanging out, waiting for a fancy car to pull up. I just gave out my CD, man, and one of the dudes called me back. That ended up helping me get that placement right there, actually.
So this placement that I'm about to play right now.
Yeah, man. I got that hanging outside Bad Boy Studio, Daddy's house.
We need to talk about this, but first let's play this song.
Yeah,
because
let's do it.
I've known you for so many years, and I didn't know you did this song until you posted some shit from the concert a couple months ago.
That was the beginning, man.
That's hilarious. For you guys, for our listeners, I know a lot of you guys are young. This is a legendary song from a legendary producer. This is a hip hop god. I'm blown away, and we want to know the story after I play it.
Bet.
Swiss Beats, Money in the Fucking Bank, yo. Motherfucking classic.
I appreciate you for saying that, man.
So tell me about the car. Tell us a full story. And for our listeners that are into music, this shows you the power of persistence, visualization, and just staying on your game.
Being
and that
annoying.
at some point, being annoying, pretty much.
Being
at some point,
annoying.
it happened. So what kind of car was it? Can you take us to the scene?
It was this dude named Mayhem.
Okay.
In Carlisle. So Mayhem pulled up in a white Beamer.
That's when the music business had money.
In 2000, this was probably 2007.
Okay, the money was dry now.
It was.
Yeah.
White Beamer. He pulled up and I said, no disrespect, I'm a producer. I want you to hear some of my beats. And he listened to him and called me the next day. And that was the beginning. After that, I quit my... Actually, that was 2005.
Okay.
Let me go back even further. That was 2005.
Take us through the journey.
2005. So at this point, I had a job. I was teaching music in Princeton Regional School District.
Were you sleeping with the students?
No, I'm talking about elementary school, so definitely
whoa,
not.
whoa, whoa,
Thank you for
whoa,
saying
whoa.
that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Somebody cue.
Not college.
Somebody please cue Michael Jackson's
Not
Smooth
college.
Criminal.
Not college. No.
Wait, like Princeton, like New Jersey,
Never.
like that part?
No, the actual school district, like.
What is
yeah.
that, like Lawrenceville? Like that area?
Princeton.
Oh, okay.
But there's the university, and then behind the university is literally a town.
Oh, that's weird.
And there's like
Jersey.
4 elementary
Jersey.
schools, 1 middle school, and a high school. And then the rest are private schools
Oh.
and charter schools.
A lot of schools. Makes sense.
All right, let's
But
continue.
I taught in the public schools. And so I was just producing in my basement, man. And I had this idea. I made that beat. I bought this sample pack and found that 808, made that beat, and I sent it to them, and they were like, "Yo, this is kind of crazy."
You didn't have the vocal in there?
That was I chopped that vocal in the MPC. Yeah. Tell me how far you want me to go into the details.
Just let the fans know.
I want to hear details. I want to hear
The
details.
gems. The gems.
Yeah.
The gems.
The
They need to-
gems. This
behind
was
it.
I had an MPC 3000, and I realized that Just Blaze was getting a lot of money with sampling old songs, and I was like, man, I wonder, could I make original content and make it sound similar? So I started to play with MPC and play with the pitch shifting in there. I was in Pro Tools producing, and I would say a phrase like, she ain't got no money. I would just say the phrase, drop it, and put it in my MPC, and play with samples. So if you know how the MPC works, you putting this on pads. So that hook was literally, she ain't got no money in the bank. It's like it was on different pads, chopped it, put it in Pro Tools, and did the beat. And I sent it to them. They loved it. Nothing happened. Called Tony Perez, ironically, and Chad Elliott. Somehow one of my managers got Chad Elliott to hear this record. When Chad Elliott heard it, he was like, yo, this is Swiss's next single. Because at the time, Swiss had It's Me Snitches or It's Me Bitches.
Yeah.
That was killing. That was killing.
I remember that shit.
Yeah.
It's me, snitches.
So I still got I got a job, and I'm just working in my basement. I don't know what this means, but all of a sudden, driving around, I'm hearing my song on the Hot 97 on the countdown. So I'm like, I don't have any connects. I don't know anybody. I'm number 1 in New York. I'm like, just trying to figure out how to make sure I could turn it into something. Either way, I got up the bravery to quit my job, even though I didn't know what the money was going to be like. But I just figured,
Now or never.
Now or fucking never. I haven't been back since. So this is my 10th. This is my 10th year of songwriting and production, full time as an entrepreneur, and I'm happy, man, and I'm blessed.
Blessings.
Somehow
And it's
you figured it
amazing.
out. Oh, wait, I have a quick sidebar question. Did you have any really shitty students when you were teaching in elementary school?
Yeah, not that many though, honestly.
Really?
I'm always competitive, and I faced some racism in that district too, a little bit. Not from the
Really?
parents, more from the staff.
Oh.
The parents were actually dope. The students and the parents were amazing, but some of the staff was really weird. Not a lot.
Well, that's like a weird. My mom's from that part of New Jersey, and it's all like weirdly farm towns. It's like very like it's
Little
all
bit. Yeah,
farms
yeah.
and like it's very like not not the city outside
but
of
not
Princeton.
Princeton though.
Yeah,
Princeton,
Princeton.
is pretty progressive. It just was what it was, but I definitely faced a little bit of racism. So because of that, I kind of really was like, okay, you think I can't do this. So, that was the enemy I needed to really create a good band and a good opportunity for
spark.
myself. Yeah, because it was like, oh, you think I'm not like, I don't know what you think, like you're probably miserable. Whatever he was going through, the people that were going through that was hating on me, but it worked out, I had
feel like
a killer
that's-
program over there, I think.
you like were you like set? What was the program? What were you in charge of?
I was in charge of starting 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders on instruments. So it's super cheesy now when I talk about it, but at the time it was what I was in. That was what was in front of me, so I attacked it. But I had to get the elementary school kids ready for middle school. So I got to teach you how to read. I got to teach you what a quarter note is, the 8th note, a dotted quarter note. I had to really go in and teach you how to keep a tempo, get a good tone, learn your notes,
Lay the
and
foundation.
Really
practice.
doesn't know what a scale
lay the
is.
foundation.
Yeah.
I know what a
pretty much.
scale is.
Oh shit!
I actually took.
I had to lay a real
I
foundation.
took piano
I miss it,
101
actually.
like last year because I was just sick of not understanding what everybody was fucking talking about. It's
Now you
exhausting.
got it. That's amazing.
Slightly.
Well, at the
Slightly.
same time, you're probably getting better as well. Like, did you notice that? Like,
By teaching
by
remedial
teaching-
lessons to kids.
Well, I'm just saying, like, but do you think that like by teaching helps you learn better,
I mean,
That's
I
kids.
knew the information. I think.
or
the
was it
informa-
working with children that was like a new experience, like, and maybe learning something from that?
I think I was learning a lot. It was great money.
I feel like if you're working, frankly, I feel like if you work with children, like that's definitely a strong step for being in sessions. I feel like it gives you a sense of patience,
Because
Oh,
sense
I
of
see what you mean.
calm.
artists are babies. Is that what you're saying?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
I don't know about that.
I thought it was fun.
It's really good.
I thought it was fun.
So
but
let's.
wait, but I just do have one more question. Since you know music so well, like since you know technical music so well, because I feel like there are a lot of people who work in the music industry who don't, who are
Okay.
kind of just. So, I mean, is that frustrating for you? Is
No,
it?
never. If you're hot, you're hot, man. You deserve everything coming towards you. Like, I'm not a hater. I certainly want to be able to turn that into some big shit, though, because then that's a reflect on me. If I have all that information and I can't turn it into something crazy.
How do you? I mean, is it difficult to like to get your point across if someone doesn't understand the sort of music theory and like you want to
Nope.
change something, just
Nope.
figure it out?
Not at all, right?
Yeah, it's really easy to communicate with people that don't understand theory or don't play, because there's ways you can verbalize the intention or the action that you want. Because people that don't understand music or play, technically, most of those artists are singing anyway. So you get what I'm saying? Now, if a producer in this business, you don't even have to be able to sight read music to make millions of dollars coming up with music. It's instinctual and it's all about a feel. So if you stumble on something, I grew up with theory, but I found out the reason I stepped away from that aspect and went into more band shit is because I felt restricted to math of the shit. And I felt like what am separating me from the limitations that I'm given than everyone else, except for so-and-so plays way better than me, on and on and on. I was into things where people were mixing technology with the music, like, okay, so I've got this Fender Rhodes, but let me roll this, let me start with my guitar pedal, my delay pedal, and run through there, and this note now goes, instead of going doom, it's going doom, 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 and it opens this whole different world, and you start, you know what I mean? That was sort of, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, I've always been a fan of, it's good to know how to read, but it's also good to be able to to feel your way. People that are self-taught, I
Yeah,
find
yeah,
to
yeah.
be really
Yeah.
good feel musicians.
I feel like a lot of people get intimidated by the music theory, and I think that stops a lot of people from going into music because they're just like, dude, I don't want to do this. I do because that's why I never learned an instrument. I was like, this is horrible, and I just keep getting yelled at by this woman. Like,
80% of people that are in the music business that actually started in bands, none of us. Yeah, some of us, including myself, started with teachers and stuff like that in music classes, right? But it's like when you hear your favorite band or when that music fucks your head up, you don't go to your fucking teacher or, you know what I'm saying, to break down the chords. You are hopefully lucky that your parents buy you an instrument or you get an instrument and you find your way around playing that shit by just figuring it out. And when you find your way around that guitar or find your way around the chords on the piano, it opens so many things up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And I think in the professional world, nobody cares about theory. It only makes sense in school. Like you can have the most theory in the world, and if your shit's not hot, it's like get out. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
all right, I think that's an important lesson for our listeners to remember, that even if you're failing miserably at school, that means 0% of nothing.
I'm talking about from a professional music perspective. You know what I mean?
But even in college, we have a really interesting theory in college. I don't really feel like me as an adult, right, getting older and gonna be having kids, right? Like you know, those conversations are happening. So it's like you know, it's weird. I never thought I'd had conversations about kids before having them, but it's like we talk about those things, and I was like, I grew up thinking like, yo, bop, 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 bop. This college, we got to get you in the da-da-da. Yeah. And it's like, I don't really know if I'm really interested in having my kids create debt for themselves. It works for certain people, it doesn't work for certain people. I know I'm going to be a huge proponent. The reason I work so hard now is so that I can be home when we have a family and I can actually homeschool for a bit, extra school for a bit, because we know we need the social interaction with the kids, right? You don't want weirdos that are just growing at home with the parents or one of the parents, you know, super broke smart and don't know how to deal with bullies and shit like that. I really think I'm a huge proponent of homeschooling and interaction too. And I want to be at the fucking school. Excuse me. Yeah, I know I'm cursing. Like, I want to be at the fucking school with your kids. But I do want to be at the school, you know, and interact. I want to be one of those parents, you know, willing. I want to go into your next song because I think it's the man inside you. You're like a friend of mine. So I kind of, you know, I know the real guy. This is the real guy. But, you know, we'll open the door. This next record is a Jason Derulo song that I really love that was done by my friend Hookman and another friend of mine, Jonas. You guys did that together, G-Berg. Shouts out to all Danes everywhere that are in America making more money than Americans. Keep doing it, buddy.
Word.
This song's from Jason Derulo's Talk Dirty album. It's called Marry Me, and it's completely different than Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So that song, which is one of my favorites from Jason Derulo, and that's a real statement to say for those that know. Jason's a nice guy, by the way. Tell me about that. Like, how do you go in the studio and do a song called Marry Me? Was that a concept, or were you feeling super lonely?
Dude, I had no. Go ahead. What was your question? No, I don't want to cut you off.
I mean, like, who does that? So is it like, was it psychologically like intentional? Like, I'm gonna do a song because I know women want to be married, or was it just like, damn,
no,
it's cold in here?
I had shout out to Laurent Besson, who is a dear friend. He knew this guy named Andy in New York who, you know, wasn't terribly busy, was diversifying, was doing a bunch of other things aside from music. But he had a studio in Manhattan. So I went and he was like, all right, man, I'm just going to play some chords. And he hit play and these chords started playing. And I was like, yo, can I record right now? And wrote the first verse pre-chorus. And then I left. Then I went to a friend's house, wrote the second verse, and I carried that song around for about 2 years. I played it for Jay Sean was supposed to cut it. Wendy, I mean, I shouldn't say too many executive names, but
shouts to Wendy. You're a legend. We love you. You're the GOAT. You're my fucking one of my favorite Jewish women in the business.
Exactly.
Why you never cut me no check lately?
And she loved it, and I tried to get a producer. She was working with the producer, and he was too slow. He was kind of not on top of it. Shout out to him. No disrespect. Because it found where it needed to go. Jonas and I had 2 days with Derulo. We were writing, and it was going okay. You know, we knew we had to fucking kill it. And fortunately, I played it for Jonas. Jonas gave me the green light to play it in the room. We played it for Derulo. He loved it. He cut it that day. Jonas did the production. The label heard it. The label hadn't even heard it until close to the end. And then it became a single, and Yeah, it really set me up. Really changed my life. Actually,
That song made some money.
that song made a good amount of
I
money.
mean, that's what I was trying to be modest here. I
it
don't want to
did
get in
pretty
your
well.
pockets.
It was
my nigga.
it gave me a clue
to
to the pop bag.
the pop bag is a whole different kind of
The
bag.
pop bag is another bag.
Can I keep it low key? I know we on air, but I'm still living off of motherfucking the energy never dies. Let me tell you about that pop. That's
The
why
pop
Will I
bag
Am.
is
I
real.
love you, brother.
The pop bag is serious.
Well, let's talk about how do you go from. Let's just talk about the fact that you're not like boxed in. You're not an urban writer because.
Wow, thank you.
Our Charlemagne, the dog is here.
Just waltzing in.
Yeah, waltzing in super late, and that's why he's locked out. But the fact that you can go from a record, Charlemagne, hey. But I want to talk about the fact that you're not boxed in. You start your career with Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
which if I says Money in the Bank, my African American brother over there knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Remember that shit, right?
Yeah.
See, that was a fucking classic. You go from there to a huge cross of a pop record like Marry Me. It's like a completely different soul. So, like, I hear the process, the physical process of the writing the song, but what was the inspiration? And do you have those wantings? Like, is it like something where you're like,
Oh, you want to go personal?
I want to go personal with the inspiration from the song?
Got you. No, I've been asked that before because I had a young lady in my life at the time, shout to her, who did feel like the song was about her, but I wasn't drawing from a personal experience. That was one of those.
It's hard to tell
moments.
women the songs aren't really about them. You just say it to pacify them.
Wow.
Wow. I
Sorry.
don't lie.
Hurtful.
I don't lie to people. I don't lie to women.
See, man, that's a good quality, dude. There's no reason to lie to people,
Right?
For one thing, people think that helps them, but guess what? You're building up this false
Yeah,
dream in
I don't
people's
lie.
head, and then when they find out it's real, it's even more crushing.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
why
yeah.
lie? Just be straight up with people.
Spoken
Be
like the child of a harem, John.
I was just doing it for comedic purposes. I'm
No,
glad you guys dug
that's
into it.
actually really you. That's like, yeah. See, he's lying to us now about like how he really is. You know how many people, like, dude, this is a very close friend of mine. You know how many people he's lied to in their face and said something, and I'll be like, and in my
When
head,
he
I'm
says
like,
lie, he means this shit dope. Yeah.
see, that's it. Like, why? Why lie about
That's
that?
To
Because he's
avoid the
smart,
conflict.
though.
Thank you. Thank you.
You think that's smart?
I know it is.
How is that smart?
Not everybody wants to hear the truth.
Dang. So you basically do what he does.
Or
no,
I'm
you don't want to.
evasive.
Yeah, you don't.
I
Be
give a safe
evasive.
answer.
All right, cool.
You can't
Just
be
don't even
evasive
answer
with
it.
good or bad. There's no in between.
No, you just like don't
In
answer
between-
the
Yo.
question. You just don't
That's
answer the question.
disrespectful.
You just get a phone call.
I try to make sure I'm encouraging, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a liar. I might exaggerate slightly if
That's
your song
not a lie.
sucks.
Hey, so do you like the song? Yeah, dude. Oh man, it's amazing. That's a fucking lie because you're not like you know the song's whack and you just told him that. How is that? Like what do you call that then?
I know what's a fact though. This nigga's 40 minutes late and the loudest in the room.
You're right.
So let me ask you a question.
You're right.
Let me ask you a question.
You're 100% correct.
If you're talking to up and coming songwriters or a young
You can't
producer,
discourage their dreams, bro.
not only that, hold on. If you're talking to young up and coming songwriters and producers, and they're starting to get opportunities in certain rooms, would you tell them to be honest, or would you tell them to say they love it no matter what the song? Because
I don't tell people what to do. Like I work
you
with
get
people.
my
I don't
point.
tell
Would
them.
you recommend if you had to?
Me, I just be like, hey, dude, I'm upfront with people. Like
In the
I'd
industry,
rather.
Danny's known as a dick. Just so you know.
I wouldn't. The reason why I don't do that is because I'd rather somebody like know and then not continue to. Because guess what? If I tell them that's dope, they're gonna think that's dope. They're gonna keep going in their mode and making shit that's like of what they think is like actually good.
I was more saying from perspective of somebody up and coming, it is a little bit of a game where you don't want to be so big in the room as to give your opinion.
No,
Sometimes
you don't
you
even
want
have to
to
be big in the room. If
You know what I
somebody
mean?
asks you, just be like, hey, dude, like honestly, like,
Here's my recommendation: that if you're starting out, definitely, and somebody's playing you some shit, depending on who the person is, you should don't. I'm not sure they should be honest until they get to a respect level where they could be like, it's hot, but it's not for me, or I'm not sure about that one, or you know what I mean. It's answers you could come up with later. But
I
then
gotta hear it a couple more times. Say that.
I like that.
I do
That's
not
a good
like.
one. That's a good one.
That's how you like. You don't have to lie to him and say, "Yeah, it's good," because then you got to go to sleep with
John's
that.
gonna tell. He's still gonna tell him, "Yo, that shit's crazy."
Oh,
Most
No, I would
amazing
never
thing
say
I've
it's
ever heard.
crazy.
Yes,
I would
you
never
yes,
say
you
it's
would.
crazy.
What would you say?
I know in my lifetime you've told somebody a record's crazy And
I'm
it
not
hasn't
a
been.
dream crusher. I'm a positive person. I'm sorry. If your music sucks, I'm not going to be like, it sucks. Oh, thank you. Happy birthday to QC, the label, the P, COP's birthday today for the culture. Shouts. Y'all niggas keep doing y'all shit. Let's keep
He's
moving.
segueing so hard.
Yeah.
So no,
He wants to get off his
that just
fucking lying
happened. That
abilities.
just happened. So yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to tell you your shit sucks because I know what it's like playing in bands and sending demos to record labels. And I remember having all these rejection letters from these record labels that I would put on the wall. I had like 30 rejection letters from all the indie labels. And
Guess
eventually,
what, bro? Your music sucked. You're a better songwriter than whatever your band was doing. That's why the band didn't pop. They didn't reject you. They got together like, hey, all of us, we're going to reject this great band. No, it sucked.
No, here's the thing that you have to segue when you're going to have the facts. Because we could have got signed by Def Jam. My band members got scared because they were white and they didn't want to be replaced by drum machines, the drummer, and he made a whole stink about it, even though the Roots used drum programming. Mos Def tried to sign us like 4 years in. I didn't want to sign to Mos Def when he got his deal at whatever the label was with Corey Smith because I didn't want to sign a rapper. So my band did not suck. It's just all the labels I send the music to were like super indie white boy rock
Next
labels.
Friday, can you bring like 4 of your band songs?
You know
and
what?
play
You're going to
them?
embarrass me like I have no
Please.
shame. I would love to
That
do
would
that.
be amazing.
I have
Guess what? We'll know the truth, whether or not it sucked or not.
Guys, let's keep going. I'm going to look for a song now. You fucking with the right
That's what
one.
I'm talking about.
You fucking with the right one.
What I want to know is like when you guys hear shitty songs, what's the thing that's generally shitty about it?
It can be anything.
That's like a pretty.
No, it can be
That's a very
anything.
broad question.
It can be
That's like-
anything. It can be
So
your
is it-
sound
Playing a wrong
choices.
chord.
It can be your sound choices. It can be your lack of musicianship. It can be your lack of conviction.
Yeah.
It can be your lack of
That's
education.
like 20 different reasons why.
But
it could
any of us in this music business wrote thousands, hundreds of thousands of shitty songs to get to a decent song or your first decent song. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You feel me?
Not everybody's a producer either.
All right, so I found some songs, guys. I'm going to play one before I go back into where we're
Yes.
at. And we were
Let's hear
shitty,
it.
according to this guy. But so this stuff, I want to say this was, I don't want to date
We
myself
don't
here.
even
With
want to
this
Band
hear
name?
none of your
Band name
thoughts.
first?
Just play it, bro.
I'm not going to out the band name.
What's the band name? We can't know the band name? Huh?
And apparently we're a shitty Diggable Planets band.
Yeah, dude. Nice try.
I'm so glad I
You
won
think you're an
fucking 4
amazing
Grammys.
songwriter.
When God closes a door, He opens a window.
Yeah.
All right,
To
so
all
we're
the
being
shitty
bullied.
bands
We're being
out there.
bullied here by terrorist groups that are trying to get us off air. I'm joking.
Yeah.
So let's go. So you're infatuated with bangs because I'm going to go to this other song.
I am. I'm looking for a new way to put bank in a song. God apparently likes me to use that word.
It works out. Benjis, you know what I mean? It makes sense. You need to
need a
do a
pop
bang
one
song
now.
with Taylor Swift.
Exactly. It's time for a pop one. Thank you for that. I'm gonna use that advice.
That fucking chorus is amazing. Tell me about the inspiration for that real quick before we wrap up and what you've been doing.
I text. He's not there anymore, but Walter.
Okay.
Yo, what up? I'm free the next couple of days. You got anything? He hit me, connected me with Jay Grand. They put me in the studio. Just so happened to have some Patron. I think it was like 11 in the morning.
Those are the best ones, yes.
And I was like, I'm going to fuck with this Patron. And got on this Patron and wrote that shit. And that night, Ink cut it.
And he kept your vocal.
And kept they tried to, a couple other people on it, but I guess they just thought that was the best option. Thank God they did. And it worked out.
So take us up to now. Before we wrap this up, you had a really big meeting yesterday. Let's just, you know what I mean? There's people are interested in you. The Jews are coming, which is a good thing when the Jewish people
Man,
are
I'm so
coming.
happy.
You're
about
in like
that.
you had a
Jesus.
really crazy. You had the craziest meeting, if I'm allowed to say without saying, would probably arguably the biggest,
Number
most
one.
storied movie house in the world.
Number one.
Congratulations
Number one.
on that, brother.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Mazzles.
Thank you. Yeah, man, it keeps me motivated too, especially on the independent side, because obviously I'm excited about a lot that's happening on the major side, but independently, I think it's opening doors, creating meetings like this, you know, and I'm excited, man.
So what else is in your future before we wrap this up? Let the people
In
know.
my future, I'm always working on for every label, pretty much. Always want to working with people like you, humbly, you know, contributing to the overall picture, man, and just trying to, you know, If you bring the chicken, man, I'm bringing the cabbage and the
We gonna eat the whole table.
You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
what it is. It's
That's what it
savage
is.
season, bro.
Very
it's savage
specific.
season right now.
Exactly.
Danny, anything else? Any closing words? Anything we want to say to the young kids? I would like you guys to know that, contrary to what Danny said, sometimes you have to be diplomatic. Maybe I'm a liar because my dad was an ambassador, but you have to be a bit diplomatic in how you deal with people's feelings. He is right that if somebody sucks, some people have the balls to just be like, yo, bro, this shit sucks. Keep doing it. I'm not a dream crusher because I've heard that so many times in my life. And if I believed that, I would have never won the accolades and the blessings that have been
That's
put
actually
upon
not
me.
true.
But maybe
Your
it's just
band
important to not
sucked
believe
for
it.
a long time, and you kept hearing that.
Wow.
You didn't want to believe it.
Wow.
So then you switched and started songwriting, and then that's when you pop.
True.
That's a
So
good
that
point.
see,
That's a good point.
Danny has a terrible, Danny's like my mom. He's the same sign as my mom. All these Pisces people are like my moms.
That's good to hear. But also, like, if you were one to give up, you wouldn't have made it. If you're the type of person to hear bad shit and give up, then you were never going to make it in the first place.
And I want you guys to take what Julie just said and apply it to yourselves. Anything that you want to do in this world, regardless of what your circumstances are, y'all, please do me a favor. Do it. Do it and do it. Set real fucking listed goals. Don't be like, oh, yo, look at Puff Daddy. I'm going to be Puff Daddy tomorrow. And everybody's not going to be Puff Daddy. Set realistic goals, little increments, little steps up. And you maybe weekly goals. You accomplish it. Then you get a monthly goal, yearly goal, blah, blah, blah. You can do it. And if you need any help, read the Celestine Prophecy based on your age, if you're young. And then after that, go into The Secret. Really powerful shit. I want to let you guys, I hope you guys have a really wonderful, safe weekend. We're in a weird world right now. So it's important for us more than our color, our religion, our genders, whatever the things that separate us to become one as humans, okay? We're humans first, okay? And look what we've done as humans and what we created. So one love, be smart, be safe. Shouts to all the people over at Paramount and the plug Danny Fight for what's happening with the fucking song of the summer. God bless you, The Rock. You're the best.
Turn up.
One love. Peace out.